Okay. Terribly sorry if this falls down. Terribly sorry about the light. Can't really move anywhere. I'm sorry about not getting back to you guys yesterday. Um, about day 14. So I'm doing day 14 and day 15 today, right now. Yesterday, this lovely device, this lovely device right here, was sitting on the charger for 2 hours roughly and wouldn't charge a bit. And so my big brother and I had to gear all up and go to the mall to go get an either phone upgrade. I'd been trying to. This phone was slowly starting to deteriorate. Then it's ended up in the toilet on Sunday at work and was just barely scraping by. And yesterday it finally decided that it didn't want to work anymore. So now it's a paperweight. So that is why I didn't get 14 to you. I had it all ready to go. I was about trying to charge my phone to get it to you guys and ended up not being able to get it to you guys. So this one does not have the magnetic case like the other one does, so it's a bit of an issue because it might fall over at any time. So I'm sorry if that happens. Also, I'm really sorry if you guys message me on some of my other social medias. I do not have them set up on this phone yet, so I can't get back to you right away. So I'm terribly sorry about that. So anyway, let's get on to day 14 because I missed it like a bad little girl. So day 14 is rethinking God. There is a monotheistic philosophy of deity that operates behind the scenes in most of our mainstream religious thinking. It not only permeates religion, but popular culture as well. Monotheistic religions propose that if you are a reasonable person, it should be clear to you that there is an intelligence behind the design of the universe. After all, figs do not grow on thistles, grapes do not grow on thorns. At this point, an unwarranted leap in logic takes place. Monotheistic religious paths usually jump to the conclusion that the intelligence behind the scenes is, in fact, a specific singular God, the biblical Yahweh, for instance. Along with this assertion comes the belief that this God governs all affairs, much like a monarchy, and he has some definite opinions and regulations about how things should be. Monotheistic religions, which are usually those of the book, therefore conclude that human beings should be vigilant lest they violate the fundamental grain of the universe as established by this watchful and often vengeful God. Does this mythology shape your worldview? You bet it does. Joseph Campbell says, "What if the Lord's Prayer began with Our Mother instead of Our Father? The gender of deity, its location, presumed purpose, and its number are all features that shape how we live and act in this world. Now, let's pull the rug out from beneath ourselves and wonder about a God that is nothing like what we might suppose." There is an old joke about the person who has a near-death experience and who comes back to tell the tale. When asked if he saw God, he says yes. When asked for a description, he says, "She's black." This story amuses us because in the back of our minds, many of us hold on to the image of God as an old white man with a long beard. This is an institutionalized, this is cultural image that many of us take for granted. It rarely occurs to us that God may be something else entirely. Perhaps God is not something that we can understand through rationalization or through philosophical inquiry. A word to the wise. In Wicca, the divine is not a person, nor is the divine something that is greater than each of us. Wiccans view the divine as an energy that manifests through us at all times. It is who and what we are. In addition to that, it is a great practice to begin deconstructing and closely observing cultural customs that incite emotional or mechanical reactions. Take time today to contemplate and commit to paper your thoughts about the following questions. What images of God did you hold as a child? How have these childhood images, influenced your understanding of the divine today? Are the images of God that you know actually representative of God's fundamental nature? Are images of God important? Why? What is the purpose of believing in deity? Do we cheat ourselves at any level by characterizing God through image? Why? Why not? Does it bother you to see the word God not capitalized in this book? Why? Does the word God need capitalization? What automatic conditioned responses do you have in relation to words, letters, and grammatical formalities? I will answer all of these questions to you guys. I've written them on a piece of paper. So I did this exercise yesterday. I normally do my exercises before I read them to you guys, and then do my videos and send them off to you, to Facebook, to YouTube. Oh dear, I'm having one of those days. One of those great days. Actually, I'm having one of those weeks. Anyway, so I will tell you them as I go because I don't normally need them in front of me. What images of God did you hold as a child? I never had any real clear view of God as a child. It was never forced on me by my parents. What I knew was through my friends and their families that I often frequented. Like I've said before, I went to a lot of youth group stuff and Bible camps with my friends, but I was never truly part of a church group until I was like 13. And then when I was 14, I went to a Catholic school. Again, never really imposed on me through my family that I had to seek religion. It just was the better school to go to. And in those years between the time I was 12 to the time I was 17, I had already started dabbling in witchcraft and paganism and was really already enjoying it. So from 12, 13, I had already been doing all this, even with the image of God in my head. How have these childhood images influenced your understanding of the divine today? I never characterized God as one entity. I always figured if there was one, there was a duality in it. Just people didn't think about it. Some people didn't think about it, other people did. I always knew that there was another half to the picture that we were seeing, so to speak. Are the images of God that you know actually representative of God's fundamental nature? Like I said, I've been practicing, dabbling for years. I have a slew of images from different types of gods to different styles of gods, and by styles of gods, I mean like Celtic versus the Egyptian gods. So I don't have one view of what God should look like. I have many views of different sides of many different gods. So I never, associated one image Are images of God important? Why? In some aspects it is. Some people prefer to have a specific image to think about. I feel. If you need that visual, I, however, do not need that visual. I have a very standard God totem on my altar, and it is a wizard little pewter figurine, and I have a witch one for my goddess, and I find it easier to invoke the god and goddess that I require at that time if I do not have a specific totem for it. I can imagine them as it, but I have a good imagination. People who don't may need a couple different statues of a couple different gods, or one. What is the purpose of believing in deity? I find it sets your focus. To some people, it sets their focus. It gives other people something to pray to. It gives them solidity. Some people solidity, some people don't need that for solidity. So it's all up. I know I'm arguing both sides of the coin. Do we cheat ourselves at any level by characterizing God through an image? I just 2 questions ago really focused on this. I do not necessarily think we cheat ourselves with giving them an image. I find that, those who can use their mental images to call on a god do, and those who need a bit more help and do not have the greatest of imaginations, or do not, can't necessarily think and need something to focus on, they have that ability to focus on that. And then those who have their imagination can let it run wild. Does it bother you to see the word God not capitalized in this book? No, it is not. Like I said, I've never been imposed that God was the God. So I've never capitalized the word ever. Not really anyway. It doesn't bother me at all that it's not capitalized in this book. What is the word? Does the word God need capitalization? Only if you're trying to differentiate between your beliefs and someone else's who's Christian and Catholic, if you wanted to make the differentiation between the two. Other than that, it doesn't need to be capitalized. What automatic conditioned responses do you have to the relation to the words, letters, and grammatical formalities? I don't. I'm a bit of a grammar person. Good grammar has always been a thing in my family, but, whether or not you capitalize a word, as long as it's not a name, I don't really care. That's just my opinion to all of these questions. I'm sure everybody has their own. I would like to hear yours, so comment down below, message me on any of my other social media, contact me, I don't care. Anyway, so I'll see you in a few minutes for day 15, because I was a very bad girl and I did not do it, or I did not do this day yesterday. So I will see you in a few minutes on YouTube land.